Hi guys, this is Anup Singh Thakur. So yeah, I will give my brief introduction. I'm having a 6 year of experience, and currently I'm working as a software engineer. So my overall experience is completely on Python, and yeah, I work with the Python frameworks like Django, Flask, and Scrappy as well, but for a for short-term project. And yeah, database side, I have learned like worked on like SQL. In SQL, like there are many SQL databases like MySQL, PostgreSQL. Nowadays, most of the company are moving towards PostgreSQL. So yeah, again, and coming to the NoSQL side, I worked in MongoDB, and now currently I'm working on you can say Elasticsearch. So yeah, this is there are lots of things which what I'm doing, like there are a few other stuffs as well, but yeah, it's like it will come later, so yeah, I will cover it later. So yeah, so as and just want to add one point, like as Saurabh said, that in upcoming sessions in Python, so we are going to cover some advanced features as well, advanced topic, I mean to say, and along with that, how how nowadays companies are expecting to the Python developer to work and behave in their coding skill side. So yeah, basically. So I will say to all of you, just that have some patience before we start, because I know like for a few people it's like, oh, again it's starting intro. So I'm not going deep inside like the history of Python and all like others teachers were do in schools and colleges. So I'm not going like means going to do like that. So yeah, so basically we will come to the Python side, like what is Python, difference between Python 2.x and 3.x. So how Python works here, I will show you how we do the uh, Python running site. I will show you here. Installing and start Python, again, like I will show you, but it's already installed in my system. So a few things I will cover there. Coming to this part, like scalar types, operator, and control flow, which covers like relational operator, control flow, while loop, and data types, which is the main thing you can say, because if you are learning any programming language, so you should know like which are those data types. Hello, is there means
No, no, yeah,
can
we can hear you properly.
yeah,
I think
so
other
I
people
think
is
there
on.
is, yeah, so there is one guy is can you please if unmute it
Yes,
yourself, like
yes, yes.
Ranga. Okay. So yeah, so where I'm like, yeah. So if you are going to start any programming language, so the first thing you should know, what are those data types or available inside that programming language. So basically, the major data types what majorly the company or the developer use is like string, list, dictionary, bytes, and yeah, so these are those things which I'm going to cover for today's session. It's like I don't want to put so much hectic today. I know you attended the previous session as well, so I'm just taking it like as a light session, not that much, so it will be easy to digest for you. So okay, so hope we will start now. So yeah, so basically we will start from like what is Python. So many of you knows means I took the interview for the fresher, so they told the definition that Python is an interpreter programming language, or Python is a highly programming language which supports OOPS, as well as it's an interpreter programming language. But the thing is there is a something which we don't know, and it's you can say it's not mentioned in many of the books. Like Python is an interpreted programming language, that is true, but it supports the compilation as well. So basically, how compilation works. So basically, the compilation part in Python is hidden. So basically, it's hidden from the programmer. So so many programmer believes yeah, so there is no compilation happens here in Python, but the truth is Python in a backend only it's done their compilation part. So how it done, so there is a Python virtual machine which basically it's just convert the bytecode into the source code, and then from there we start using like the things like Python. So if you ask me like how it's possible in Python, like if many of you have, maybe you have used, or maybe you have done for like for a short term you have used Python and you want to know. So I will say like I'm not going to take much time in this part, but like I just give you one information regarding this, how we can think like this. So basically Python is having uh, two version, like we are going to cover it into the next part, like 2.x and 3.x. So basically in the lesser version of 3.2, you can see the .pyc file in the same folder. Whenever you run your Python file first time with the extension .py, so it will create you the compiled part like in the form of .pyc extension. So it's previously it's going to store into the, means in the lower version of 3.2, it's a store into the same packages where you are saving your the current .py file. And from the top, means above of that 3.2, it's going to create some separate separate directory or package, you can say, like dot underscore pycache, where it's storing their .pyc files. So yeah, so this is the major thing what I'm telling you. But it's just for your information. It's not like that it's like someone is going to ask you in an interview. There are few brilliant people who will ask you about the history, when it's invented and what are those things, but majorly people don't ask for all these things. This is just for your information and for your knowledge, right? And yeah, and coming to the part of difference between 2.x and 3.x. So what's get changes here in 2.x and 3.x? So I think I need to put this installing in a start Python part on top of the difference between 2.x and 3.x. But let it be. So this is the first time I created a PPT, so hope you people don't mind. So yeah, so Python 2.x and 3.x, I will show you in a in a practical way, like how it's differentiate. But I don't have a Python through 2.x version, because from January 2020 onwards, Python stops, means the people stopped giving any support to the 2.x versions. So they are not going to update anything on 2.x. And yeah, and 3.x. So basically what you can do in 2.x, if I can show you, okay, so we'll close this. So so I will show you first, like in a notepad, why I'm showing you writing your first code into the notepad. Because there are sometimes it happens like you should know, like if there is no IDE tool, so how you can work also. So like in Windows there is a problem, and in Linux you can directly open like vim command, and you can open the file, you create the file like vim abc.py, and you just start doing your stuffs. So basically this thing you should know as a as a starting learning of programming in Python. So I'll just, right now I'm just showing you the difference. So basically I will comment it first. So in Python 2.x, basically the print statement, it should be like this only, and you just need to do print hello, right? So this is the part of Python 2.x. And what changed in Python 3.x is like print statement is become a function or class, you can say. So like Python 3.x, the print statements change into like this way. So you will see this difference from Python 3.x, like you need to define your print statement like this way. There is many more differences if you will search in Google, but the major difference, there is not that much major differences which you feel like that, oh, this thing I should know. Like, so there is one more in Python 2.x. Sorry, Python no, Python 2.x is like not print, it's like x range. So basically X range, what it's do, like if you want to run something in the range between, so at that time you define X range. This part we will come later. So as we move forwards to the other session, then I will cover all this part, like, but I'm not going to show you the 2.x versions things. I'm going to show you the 3.x versions thing, because I'm working on Python 3.x. So in Python, oh sorry, Python 3.x, this X range is converted into the range basically. So there are lots of differences there. You can see it and you can feel like that it's not a major difference. So basically like print you have defined, like, and rest of the things like if else or these things are same, right? So I will just minimize it right now. So basically how Python works, so this I'm going to show you here only. So I will close this. This is not required, this is not required. So this is my file. So basically how Python works, how it runs. So I'm just printing, like, as always when we start the doing any programming language, we do with the hello message, like hello, how are you. So like this, we are going to save it. So this is session 1. I'm going to save here, like, test1 dot py, and we just need to change the save as type all files, and we can save it. See, it's automatically converted into PyCharm. So I will tell you, like, which is the best IDE tool and how it works and all these things. But for now, it's being like it's done, and we minimize it again. So we are on the same path, session 1. So from here, I will show you by running test1.py. So .py is the extension. Please don't forget it, like, that you need to specify this py file if you are a beginner, and if you are if you are a immediate learner, or like expertise in Python, so you can skip this part, you already know. So like, yeah, so if you can see, like, this is printing this hello, how are you, and all these things. So yeah, so in a way this will behave like this. So if this is a Python 2.x, so here, from here, I think we need to go inside the terminal. So where you can, here you can see when I'm typing Python, it's opening the Python shell. So it's showing the version. So like you can see, my version is Python 3.7.7, right? So whenever you are going to install it, it is going to install to the path. So for you can say for Mac OS people, by default, I think till the old Mac OS, like till 2018-19, in Mac OS, I guess it's a 2.x version only in a by default terminal, in Linux as well. So now in a updated Linux, Ubuntu, or in Mac OS in 2020, I don't know, like, if they updated like 3.x version or something. But in a terminal in Mac OS and Ubuntu, you will get by default Python. If you will type like this, you will go into the you know uh, Python shell. And yeah, and coming to the this part, you can see, like, this is a PyCharm. This is
Anuj,
again an IDE.
sorry to interrupt you. I just want to ask one question over here. Let's say in old version of Mac or Linux,
Mhm,
Python 2.x got supported, but
mhm.
can we upgrade that thing? Can we upgrade the terminal part so that we can write
Uh,
3.x code over there?
no, I never tried this thing, because always I installed separately. So either it's going to install in the separate environment, or mostly I'll do it, like, in a Docker container. So oh, I apologize for that. Like, that I'm not able
Okay,
to show you in Mac OS, but like in Windows, it's mostly like the similar way. If you can see this download, it will automatically open this, like,
okay,
for
okay, okay.
Windows and work. So you will get the tutorial and all. I don't want to waste the time here. If you
Mhm.
people get any doubt or any any problem or any blocker kind of thing, so you you can contact me, or you can drop me the mail. I can help you while to download it into your machine, right? So
Yeah,
yeah, so these are those things. So I would like to, so because
yeah,
if
yeah,
I'm
sure.
going to wait, I'm going to wait for all of you to download and do the things. So it will be like time wasting for all. So
Yes,
I would suggest,
yes, this will be
yeah,
getting done by individual actually. the
Yeah,
download
yeah.
stuff.
So
Yes.
it will help you for the beginners. It will help you like how to install some programming language. So you can start from Python only, like how we can install it and how we can save it. So one thing I would like to say for the Windows user, when you are going to download it, and you can go here and you can go into the computer, this computer or this PC, whatever your computer name, and there you just try to set it into your environment path. So go to the advanced system setting, environment variable, and in path. So you can see here I added, like I think in Python 3.x versions there is an option will come add to path. So it is by default it will add. So
Okay.
it's no need to take care of this thing. It will by default it will ask. And if you found any difficulties like while running from the terminal, so basically once your path is added into the environment variable, so um, you are able to go into the Python shell, and when you want to exit it, you can do exit and control Z also. So yeah, so these are those things. Coming to the PPT, so as I covered how Python works, so print statement as I show it to you, and installing and start Python, I already told you, like that you need to install it. And once if you want to install the IDE tool PyCharm also, so I just show it, like there is two versions of PyCharm. So if you go in the download side, you will see two versions. There is one is what is this? Yeah. So there is two version. One is professional, one is community. So please go for community because it is free and open source. And professional one is like a free trial. So it is not for the for lifetime, you can say. So this one I'm using this one only. And yeah, so you can run your program from here also. So I can show you one simple program. Just click on your folder name. From here, if you want to create a Python package or if you want to create a Python file, so there are lots of options there, but right now we are concentrating on Python file. So we will go on Python file. So what we can do, like test2. So only just need to give test2. It will automatically give the extension .py. So you don't need to take care of all this stuffs. Yeah, so this test2, and now if I want to print like today is first session, right? So this I want to run. So what I can do is like click on right click on your terminal or on your program file and just run test2. It will run your test. Oh, what is this? The system cannot find the file specified. So this needs to run from here. See user example here. Oh, the thing is, yeah. So the thing is, like I deleted the virtual environment, so I can do it. Like there is no virtual environment here. So whenever I will show you the new project, it's because of that I got it. So you will open new project, and you can give your like I'm giving learning my location name, all these things. It will create a virtual environment for me by default. Virtual environment I will explain you in the upcoming session. So yeah, new window. So as I'm showing like in IDE how to run like uh, this print statement. So this is the easiest part, I will say, like if you are a beginner. And even though for creating some project as well, like in a beginning size side, or like if you are in some middle or something, it's actually it's recommended, like go for PyCharm. So like as I'm showing, like I'm facing the issue. So there it's not getting by default this VE and V, right? So here I have, here by default I got this VE and he and while running in the previous window there, it's not creating this VNV. I deleted actually some short, means it's from my side, my mistake. So in this test.py, if you want to run this test.py, you can run and test. So you can see like it's printing hello, and if you want to run print more things again and again, you can do it. Like it will show you the rest of the part, like hello do and all these things, you can do it.
So
uh,
multiple print
um,
statement works here.
Yeah, everything will work here. If you will do if else part also, it will do if else part as well. But as I'm going to cover if else part also,
Mhm.
so yeah, so basically it's being like it will work like this only mostly. So yeah, so in my current scenario, in my current project also, I'm using this PyCharm IDE, and here only I'm creating my project part. So yeah, so these are those things. And coming to the slide. So I think I already covered all these four topics. So now coming to the relational operator, control flow, and while loop, right? So basically, as you know, like most of the programming language, it supports relational operator, control flow, like if else, how if else work, while loop. So like the same way it works in Python also, they supported control flow for like if else if, while loop, it's there. So there are some minor changes, which is not completely like the other programming language like C or Java. And yeah, so it's being like this only. So yeah, coming to the relational operator, what covers in the relational operator? So as you know, relational operator is basically like equal equals to, lesser than equals to, greater than, lesser than. So all this comes into the relational part, right? And yeah, so this all comes. So when we required this equal equals to, not equals to, so you as I said, like we will slowly move to the towards the advanced session, where we will cover all these things, like when to use and when not to use, and how to rectify it. It's good to use. So basically, like if you want to see like a equals to, you are assigning some value, like a equals to 10, b equals to 11, and if you want to check, like if a equals to b, print true, else print false, right? So it will cover your this part as well, um, control flow as well. So basically you can see it by learning it again from here. It's false because it's not equals to the same value. So now again, if you will do this part, it's coming true, right? So this is like how if else work. So basically you can check, if you will give some value 11, and here else if you can do with, like if a equals to c, print, so print true false, whatever you want. So like this, in this way you can do else if part as well. So right, so it's going right now true because it's checking this part only. So like else if will work in such a way. So there is a different scenario in which going to use this thing. So it will print all the things. So like when we come to the string part, where we can do it, like that if string 1 is equals to string 2, or string 3 is equals to string 4. So in worst case we go for else if. Mostly the the best practice is not to use more if else and more for loops. It's not a good practice actually, right? So yeah, so this is the part from the this two part. So hope you understand, like this relational operator and control flow. So control flow is nothing but it's like a if else, your if else part. And now uh, coming to the while loop. So basically
Uh,
in other programming, yeah.
Anuj, sorry to interrupt you again. So can we, whatever you are writing here, can we keep on, means, let's save the code so that we can keep a
Okay,
document of it.
okay,
Maybe we can
okay,
save in
okay,
Notepad or somewhere.
okay, got it. I will do it in this way.
Mm.
So basically I will remove this part right now for else if. So right now for this, it will work like this. So I'm going to save this. Now we will create one more file. That's true. So in this, I'm going to explain you, like how while loop works in uh, in Python basically. So it's differ from other programming language, where we give the while loop and curly braces, and we can do I think we can do the do while also in other programming language, but in Python we don't have like do while option. So we only use while loop. So like equals to 5 while is is greater than equals to 1. So basically while loop will work like this. Your statement or your part will come here only, where you need to define like uh, here. So instead of this we can use the this operator, because greater than equals to, anyway you are aware. So this is something is used for not equals to. So I will comment it here like how it works. So basically this sign is for uh, this sign is for not equals to, where is not equals to. So when you, if you want to see like if our a value is not equals to 0, so in Python there is a one thing what you can do is, I can show you. There is one beauty you can say, like it's being like you don't need to do, sorry, you don't need to do in such a way like mostly we need to do like a and then a minus 1. So here before equals to only you can define it in this way. So it will automatically understand that we need to do the decrement. Then based on that it will do it. So now we will run it. Oh, it's test 2. So if you can see like it's decrementing the order like 5 4 3 2 1. So this is the beauty of Python, you can say. So this is the same way what we do in other programming language, like a equals to a minus 1. But here in Python you can do decrement, you can do increment. So in such a way you can do it, right? So this is the way how you can do it. So yeah, so this is the part, like it's not that much in depth. Like it's come into your practice when you will do more and more, like more if else program, more while loop program. And if you found any difficulty, I don't think so you will found any difficulty, because it's being like if you are beginner as well, like and so if maybe the basics, like how if else works in other programming language. Here only the syntactical behavior we need to understand of Python, how Python if else work, how it not, right? So if else, basically we don't need to define any if else with like curly braces or something like uh, sys.py kind of things here. So yeah, so this is the part. And now coming to this part, data types in Python, which I feel like every programmer should knows while learning the programming language, like what are those data types. Because in if you are a beginner, in few companies they will definitely ask you the data types in Python. So they will ask like in such a way, like that what is the data types in Python. You need to tell like what are the data types in Python. They will ask you that in your project which are those data types you have used frequently. So for that also you should prepare like that, yeah, I have worked mostly on list or dictionary, or I am dealing with the bytes or string part. So these things you should understand from your way. So like we will cover one by one, like how string works and how the things work. So yeah, so I will create the same file name like string one, you can say string one. So this is my new file. So how we define a string? It's a simple declaration. In Python, we don't need to define the type like we do in other C, C++, like int a, str a. So we don't need to define like this. So you just simply define a equals to Python. And yeah, one more thing I will show you here only. Like you can check the type of a variable. Like what is the type of a? So basically, if you will see here, this is type of a, and we will do the print a statement as well. And yeah, there are lots of things, but so if you will click on it, so you can see the class, its class is str, right? So it's basically, it's not like for everything it's going to throw str class str. For every different data types the class will change. So if you want to see one example, I will show you. I'm passing here the integer. So integer is also a data type, so it's a by default data type. So you can see here the class is changing. It's coming int and it's printing the one, right? So yeah, so this is the, these are those things, like how you can check the type of that particular variable for any data type. Like if you want to check for dictionary, for list, so you just pass like these things. So you will definitely come to know how it behaves. So right now is like I'm passing Python. Okay. So yeah, so these are those things. And this is the, this covers your string parts. Again I will say, like while doing some some practice on some programming language, you will definitely be more comfortable, because this is just I'm telling you for your understanding, for your basic information, like how Python works. And the rest of the things you need to take care. If you want any assignment kind of things or any questions related to this topic, so you can drop the mail into the, if you have having a Saurabh official ID of this future developer, so you can drop the mail there, or either you can drop me in my mail ID, so I can give you few assignments to do as your homework, like, right? So yeah, so this only I'm telling you like how it works and how it behaves. So rest of the things you need to take care. And one more thing, I forget to tell you. So like I will take one session on this PyCharm as well, like how PyCharm works. Means it will not take more time. It will only for 2-5 minutes. So it will, like, this is a terminal. So it's showing like this virtual environment is there. What is virtual environment? I will tell you later if you are not aware about virtual environment in Python. And this is a Python console. So basically, it's create like what we are doing in this CMD side, Python shell. So it's like the same thing. And one more thing, like when you install your Python in Windows, it will definitely give you this, ideally this is also a Python shell, so where you can print all your things here. uh, so you can see, so when you are going to install in Windows, it will show this thing. So here also you can see the version. Yeah, so this is the string part. Now we will come into the list part. What is list, right? So basically, a list is nothing but, if you have learned other programming language and you are started, you already have experience on some other compilation programming language. So basically, list is like, it's similar like, it's similar like array, you can say. So where you can define the multiple type of data types like A, B, C, and you know whatever you want to print, like 12, or again anything, right?
Can we
So
give
this is
date?
not
Can we give date here, Anuj?
date also we can give,
Okay.
if you want to give.
So is there
So
any
whatever
standard
the
format for that, or
so date basically, whenever we do in a real time, so basically there we define the date module we need to import, and then
Mhm.
based on that only we can create it, and then we can append it into the list, right? So that
Okay,
is the standard way, you can say, like, and directly if you want to give in such a way, then it will consider it as a, you can say,
string.
right now if I'm going to string, yeah.
Okay.
So it's like that. So basically, if I want to define a list, so I will tell you like the standard way of defining the list is not this, like result of list, you can say, right? So a standard way is like this only. Usually people just define in this way, which is also a correct way. It's not anything wrong in this, because you are initializing the empty list. But if you want to, like some people prefer this way also. Like if you are going for an interview in some good company, or some big company, So they actually look for this basic thing as well, like how you are defining the things in there, like while you are doing the programming skill side or all these things. So basically this is both are like valid way, you can define in both the way, right? It's not nothing wrong in this, right? And if you want to insert anything into it, like a equals to not a equals to result dot append, result dot append you can do, so it will append it into the last value of the list. So this will come into the later part, right? Result li. So right now there is, oh, I forget to print it. So it's printing ADA. So here also you can check the type of result I. So basically you can see and you can run it. Type is list, right? And if you want to define initially only, you can define it initially only, like that there is a, like in this way you can define the multiple data types, like ABC, ABC 1 2 3 4 whatever, and hi. This also you can print it like,
Anuj, can we define list inside the list?
yeah, I will show you.
Okay.
So you can define it also, you can using, there are many keywords were there, there is one extend keyword is there, which will make it like the two different list into a single list. There is lots of thing which I planned actually for the future upcoming classes, not now,
Mhm.
because this is like, as I beginning only I said, like that it's hard to digest all the things in a single day, right?
Yes, yes,
So
yes.
yeah, so I'm not taking all this stuff. So I think in the next session we will plan means of first 5 10 minutes, like that few things, few functionality which I'm missing in list or dictionary, like so they
Sure.
can do their more programming or assignment. So if I'm going to tell each and everything in this session, I don't think so it's easy to digest, I know. If someone is more expertise and if he is already working in Python, so he will feel like it's a very simple thing and simple thing they are saying. So
Yes, yes.
like
Even
if
we are
you,
driving it with Scratch, so all the beginners, we will target them as well.
so
I
like
mean, they
you
will.
are like, yeah, so like you are saying, if you want to print inside this, you can print in this way also. So you can see it's printing here, right? So there is a way of, for iteration, for loop will come later, but I can show you like how it's just for your, if you are want to learn something new, it's like for in a, you just print a, it. So in Python, for loop work like this, right? So for loop basically, we what it's do, it is assigning this variable I, and it is iterating the list a, right? So if you have already seen, like if I will do the type of a, it will return us like so it's basically printing the, it's printing multiple, okay, it's iterating it and it's printing more time. So I will stop it. So type is a, type is print type of a for I in a, and I'm printing a only, which is not come here, which will come I only. This is my mistake, I'm sorry. So like you can see, like it's iterating a b c 1 2 3 4 hi hello. So once at a single time it's doing like this. So
Anuj,
there
a
is a,
silly
yeah.
question from my side again. A silly question maybe. So we have written A here. So syntactically, or maybe there was some problem over there, because how to get if we will be having any logical issue, error or something like that.
So it's throw the error. So basically right now there is no error. The thing is like, I have defined here for I in A, right? And here I'm printing A. So it's completely printing that complete list only 5 times. So number of elements, however, means the number of elements available inside the list, it will do the loop that
Okay,
number of
okay.
time, right? So
Yeah.
if I'm going to do here like this for I in B, so in PyCharm, it's automatically show some red color sign. That means
Hmm.
there is something is missing or something is mistaking, right? So if I'm going to run this, so it will throw you the error.
Okay.
Name B is not defined, right?
Hmm.
Then if I'm going to define B equals to this, and now I will do, it is returning empty list because there is nothing there inside the B,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So these are those things. So there are lots of thing in list. So yeah, so I will tell like, in an interview, the majorly the question will come from the list and dictionary, a string also, but majorly from list and dictionary, because this is the part where most of the developers play around. And if you are going to learn some data structure and algorithm as well, so in linked list and in stacks queues, so in stack queues you majorly use list, and dictionary we will use in binary search and all, where we will create a key value pair or something. So yeah, so it will come there in hashing hash map, there also you use dictionary. So there are lots of things to learn here, which I'm not covering in the first session. So you need to be patient for for upcoming session. And yeah, slowly we will take, you can say, the the poison of this Python.
Actually, we learned a
So
lot of things till now because I was expecting only installation and kind of introduction session will be there. But yes, we have learned actually a lot of things.
yeah, so that's what, like, actually I planned like in such a way, like, that we will take the not that much hectic part, like, that everything will cover, and then later will come and we will not know, like, what we have learned in first session. So I will say, like, this is the best way to practice, like, first you be comfort with the syntactical way, how indentation work in Python, and how the error will come and throw. So I will suggest for the learner, if first program, just do it in your terminal. If you are using Windows or Mac OS or Ubuntu, do it from your terminal. And then from next program, or when you come into this data structure side, or like this data types part, just start with, like, this IDE tool. So it will help you, like, if you get some error also, you can rectify it. And if you get some error, you can search it in a Google, like, why this error is coming. So you will definitely get the answer, and if you not, then I'm here for helping you out from there. So, like, yeah. So yeah, so this is, now we come into the dictionary side. So how dictionary works. So basically dictionary, as I said, like, there is a multiple ways to define, but standard way is like dict. So I will show you the print type of di, or the another way is like you just populate in your way, like, a equals to, you can say, Anuj, or b equals to whatever you call bat or something. So as like this you can do it. So here basically the key is always be a, like, you can say, unique. It's not be a duplicate. He is always unique. And yeah, so I think, if I'm not wrong, Saurabh, that there is one more question coming into your mind, like, that can we define the value as a list? So yeah, we can
Yes.
define the value as a list. So
And
here
can we
also we
have
can
a
define
duplicate value with key?
duplicate value. Yeah, we can
Okay.
define it. That will work. So, like, print. So not print di, so it will print all the di. So I will show you how to iterate the dictionary key. So here you need to define key value, or well, whatever the variable. This is just a variable name, right? So hope you people are getting like, why I'm using this for loop. For loop is just like, this is our I will mention it here. I is a variable name, and b is the part where we are iterating. So here also we will do for key well in, di dot items. So basically if we print key, hello.
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, we can
Okay,
hear
so I
you.
thought that someone is asking something. So okay, so uh, print key, print well, right? So as you can see, first it is printing this one type of di, that is dict, right? Again we can define like in our first line only, like, that we want a dictionary and in such a way. So this also, if you want to put like, print type of di, or not this one, di. So how you can, find out? So you can find out from here. And key value, if you can see like, a anuj. So not doing in this way, so you can do like, key well. So the output will come like this, and if you can see, this one is also like the same. So right, so this is the dictionary. So there are things like, as I already said, that the value key should be unique, and the value we can make it like, if you want to duplicate as well, and the list also we can define as a value, right? That's not an issue. And yeah, so these are those things. There are some predefined function which we can use with dictionary. I'm not covering that part right now, and you can use it if you found anything, and if you found any difficulty in, like, in a learning perspective, like, that there is some part like dictionary dot update I have seen, so how we can use and how to implement. So it's there already. I'm not going to cover. It's like, if I'm going to cover each and everything, it's being like, doing a spoon feeding. So I thought that from learning perspective, you should be able to, grab it from the place, like, where you will getting the hint like how to start, right? So it's being like, just uh, you can say uh, starting your engine on in your car, right? So I'm just giving that ignition on kind of thing uh, for your learning, and then from there onwards you just need to put your gears, like, first gear, second gear. So it depends on you, like, in which gear you would like to learn the things. So yeah. And last thing coming to the part is bytes. So bytes is basically, you can say, uh, it's basically a similar type of a string, you can say. So basically, if you had heard about like encode and decode, right? So there are some special character comes in into the picture. So like byte one, you can say.
Anuj, sorry to interrupt you. We have
It's
8 minutes left. Actually, we have to finish it
that
in
is
it.
fine. I'm already going to cover. It's the last part only,
Sure.
not an issue. Yeah, it's fun. So yeah, it will create a bytes one for me. So it's basically like, if you want to there is some you can say encoded or special character is there, so how you are going to do it, right? So there is a things comes into the picture like encode and decode. So how you can do encode and decode. So that's what I'm saying, like, it's similar like a string only, but the only thing is like, while we doing, if you can, I can show you the special character. So print special character. So s- so to tackle this special character, what we can do is like, we can just encode our code by using UTF-8 there. So it will help uh, UTF-8 press. So if you can see, it's coming like in this way, right? So this is nothing but it's like, showing like, that there is a spatial characters available inside there. So we can do it like, doing a decode, then it will do it like, remove the part what we want to remove from there. Like from here we can do res1 equals to a dot decode. Oops, it will not come. So as you can see, like, while I'm printing res1, the byte B is removed. So this is the way, like, how bytes behave, right? So right now, so these are those things. So it's majorly used when, I will tell you the use case of this. It's basically it will come into the picture when you will get some, big file in the into the text format or into the JSON format where, there are some special characters are available there. So what you need to do is like, first you need to do the encode using this UTF-8, and then you need to decode it before storing it, right? You can do it. So this is the way. So it's help in that way. So what we covered, so this is the part. So string, there is the part like, where we can split the string, where we can slice the string, where we can, concatenate the string. So this part, I'm saying like now only that I'm not covering that part. You can try it your way, on your own way. And if you found any difficulty, then I'm there. Like, you can first try by your own way, then I'm there. And yeah, so this is the part, like, what I need to explain it like. So if you people are having any doubt or things you want to ask, so please put your questions.
Uh, till now, I think we all are good, Anuj. Anyone has
Okay.
having any problem, any doubt, anything to ask? I think we all are good to go now. So
Okay.
yeah,
So okay, so for the upcoming session, Saurabh will, update you people like, when will be the next session. So yeah, so these are those things. And I'm not going to do any false promises here, but I will definitely said like, the I will definitely going to share my the whole IT experience, like what I have done in Python and what are those things you people should know, right? So this would definitely comes into the picture while we, move forward. So yeah, that's it.